today is a very blustery day. I feel like Winnie the Pooh, I might fly away. The wind's been blowing. I know, just like everybody else, we've had that cold spell coming through. Came out here today to check on some plants. I'm gonna go in the hoop house first and see those. I just have some sweet peas and some of my chrysanthemum mother plants, which they should be fine in there. Hopefully they've been doing okay. We'll see. Okay, everywhere outside should feel like a hoop house. Oh my goodness, it feels so good in here. I don't even know what the temperature is. Can I read that down there? It is 62 in here right now. Feels fabulous. And it's like with wind chill in the 20s outside. So let me show you what I've got in here. First of all, right here. See my little, he's doing pretty good as well. Okay, here are the sweet peas. And those are the chrysanthemums. Those are the mother plants I've been overwintering. And at night in the hoop house, the temperatures drop. They only stay probably a couple degrees above what it is outside. During the day, of course, it gets a lot warmer because the sun warms it up and whatnot. But they've been doing pretty well because last night it got down in the teens and they're still doing really well. I haven't even put any fleece cloth or anything over those. And then I did put my pansies up. Obviously, these are just, these are not for cut flower production. These, look at that. I was kind of wondering how that would do. That's some creeping thyme, and I wasn't sure how that would do, but I put it in here anyway. All right, so pretty sure that those will survive these cold weathers. This cold weather. I'm pretty sure my snapdragons, oh my goodness, I cannot talk today. I'm pretty sure that the sweet peas and the mums will survive. I actually have some outside too, and I haven't even covered those up. So I'm interested to see how those are doing out there after these several days. Look at our strawberry plants. Obviously, these are super hardy, which, I mean, we knew that from last year and over the years. And I've got some rosemary over here, super hardy. And this is actually some agastache, so that's super hardy as well. Just a little interesting side note. Going out to the lower garden first. As you can see, we've had the hoops up in the row cover. We've actually had a really thin layer of ice on the pond. It's kind of melted. Lots of wind. So much fun. I don't know how all you people up north and in really cold climates do with all your livestock. I mean, breaking ice all the time and having to deal with livestock in such cold weather, that is not for me. That is why I live in the South. Out in the lower garden, and you can see behind me, I'm trying to do the best. There we go. So we've got 3 hoops and row covers out here. The one closest to me is the poppies. In the middle is the eucalyptus, and the far one is the bells of Ireland, larkspur, and I think nigella. I think that's what it is. So let's see how they're doing. Fingers crossed that they're doing okay. All right, these are the poppies. They're all looking really good in there. So I'm happy about that. Poppy, no, you know what? This is larkspur right here. It was poppies in the middle, and those never really germinated. And then giant poppies on the end. So take that back. This is larkspur and giant poppies. I know it's really hard to see those down there, but they are looking good. So yay, I'm happy about that. If you can see here, this kind of got torn, this end one, but we've rigged it, we fixed it, and it's doing good. All right, there's nothing really to see in this middle one. This is the eucalyptus, and we've cut it way back. I'm not even gonna look in there. It's really boring. It just looks like sticks under there. We won't really know much about the eucalyptus till it starts warming up in the spring and we take the covers off. So fingers crossed that we've overwintered this whole bed of eucalyptus. And then we'll come over here. All right. That's it. The Bupleurum, and then the Belf, and then the Nigella. Well, I think it's all looking good. Look at there. Oh, that's super exciting. I haven't looked under here for days. Kind of been scared, but then I'm like, oh no, they'll be okay, they'll be okay. Here's just a little interesting experiment. These are actually anemones that just, obviously we didn't get these corms out and they randomly popped up, and so we just decided we were going to leave them and see how they did. These have not, we haven't done anything to them. We didn't cover them, nothing at all, and look how good they look. So this is pretty interesting, and that one is about to flower. So obviously the anemones do really well in cold weather and can stand to get down in the teens and not even be covered. And then I'm thinking, well, should I cover my other ones? And then I'm scared not to. Look, the horses had to get covered. It was too cold. Plus their little hearts. They're happy now. The sun's out and they're warm and toasty in their blankets. Another little experiment here. In case you are wondering, oregano here in zone 8. This is a perennial and it overwinters very well. Done nothing with this. Nothing. Haven't covered it. And look how good it looks. Still some green on it. This is crazy as well. We just left it and thought, well, if it dies, fine. If not, but I do use this in bouquets in early spring. Cute little fuzzy pony. Hey, Sari. She gonna come and see us. Look at that cute little pony. Right? I know. Aaron, he still don't know what to do out there. He's like, what y'all doing? I'm just eating hay. Staying warm. Alright, yep. Bob still has lots of wood chips. But let's check on this. Is where we planted the tulips, and they of course love cold weather, and I would not imagine that any have popped up, but I haven't checked and I do not see any, and I don't see anything has been digging in here that I can tell, so that all looks good. I'll check on this. Here's the flower stand on a really cold January day. And yes, My little windmill blew over in the rain. In the rain. My windmill blew over in the wind. Did get a little bent leg. I'm hoping I can get it back up. We just left it here because obviously it's still super windy. But look at this. This is calendula. We haven't done anything with that. That is still looking pretty decent. And that is still looking pretty decent. That's calendula. Do I have any over here? Let's see. Yes, there were some little baby ones. Oh, those are baby pansies. But that was calendula. So that all looks good. And this is the upper garden. We've got the 4 row covers here. This shorter one, that's yarrow. It doesn't need to be covered, so we haven't covered it. This first one here has anemones, snapdragons. The shorter one has scabieusis and dianthus and some different flowers. This third one right here, that is all snapdragon. And then this one has, what does this have in it? Well, at the very end, I know it has Gadisha, some sunball, which I bet that's probably dead. Some dill. Can't remember what else. Probably the sunball hasn't made it. Let's see. Well, on this end, all of the anemones are looking good. They're not as big as that one I showed you over there, but they were planted later, so that does make sense. The one that's not covered is the one I mean. So those all look good. Yay. Oh my goodness. Look at the little snapdragons. These are obviously the ones I planted later. And I can't believe it. These are really overwintering really well, even through all this cold. I'm impressed. Huh. Okay. Here is our scabiosa. And it is looking really good. Look at that. It looks like all those other plants, my sunglasses just fell off, are looking good as well. I'm super excited about this plant because I haven't grown it before, and I think it's gonna look really good in bouquets. It's a fun little flower. So I was really hoping this wouldn't die, but it is supposed to be cold hardy, so it's looking really good. All right, this is dianthus, and it's looking good. So yay. This is all feverfew here at the end, and then after the feverfew is the dianthus. And the feverfew is looking pretty good. I mean, on everything, you're seeing a little, damage, like there and there. But hopefully we're all good on that. Meaning once we can get out of these row covers and the sun can hit and we can warm up. The roots are fine, the plants are really fine, and they'll recover. And that's just a little frost damage on the leaves. We'll see about that. All the baby snapdragons are looking good. Look at all those. I mean, look how little they are. Whoops, sorry. And you can still see, like, even that one. It's still cold, still got a little, like the leaves are all wilty just because they're cold, but I think it's all going to pull through because they really don't look bad. Woohoo! I mean, see, we're still getting a fair amount of wind. And one thing about this row cover is that it protects from the wind. Not only the cold, but the wind. Like, the plants can definitely get tossed around by the wind a lot, back and forth, which can cause a lot of damage to the plants. So another good thing about the hoops is just protecting them from wind damage. So that's nice. Let's check out this other end from, this is the snapdragon. The bigger ones, bigger in there, they should glow. Well, that didn't go as planned. Nice. Well, they're all looking really nice. Very good. More strawberries at this end. And then let's check on these. Yeah, pretty sure I lost all those sunballs. And then those are Goodisha. The Goodisha look really nice. Sunball, not so much. That's what I thought. That's what happened last year when that polar vortex came through. I lost them all. Oh well. I don't think I'll be growing that again. I don't think I'm going to grow sunball anymore. Twice I've tried to grow it, last year and this year. Last year we had a polar vortex come through. This year kind of the same thing. And even though I've covered it, it still dies. And everything else is doing pretty well. So I'm thinking it's just not for this area. Just not having good luck with it. So I think I'm going to cut that one out. Probably I'll end up, I mean, these are dead, it looks like. Might give them a little chance. But I'll probably end up pulling out these and the ones up there and planting something else because, looking like a no-go. All right, last but not least, I've got some bee balm here. There's some dill. And then some more back there. I think all of that's looking really good. And then after that, some more sunball, which looks dead. So, all of this looks good except for the sunball. I mean, that's kind of laying down, but I think it'll perk all back up. I think it'll be fine. Okay, this is where I was talking about. I have snapdragons planted out here, and they haven't even, actually they just reseeded because I had snapdragons all along here. I haven't done anything to these. They just reseeded. I pulled up the ones that were too far out and just have kept the ones that are along the fence. I don't know if I have any outside the fence, but they're looking great. So they can definitely withstand some cold weather as well. Very nice. So everything I have going on in the grow room is going in this bed right here. It should be a couple weeks before it's planted out. I think it's going here. Or either the Lisianthus is going here. I'm not sure. The Lisianthus is coming the end of January, and then I'll just let it acclimate for about a week and plant it out. And then I also have the things that are in the grow room. I'll just give you a quick update on the last video I did was of the seed starting, and I showed you what was going on in the grow room. So I'll just give you a quick little update of the grow room. They've gotten pretty big, and probably after this cold goes through, I'm going to take them outside to the hardening off station and let them harden off a little bit out in the cold weather, and then I'll put them out here in the garden with some row covers. So just pretty much what I plant in the fall to overwinter, everything is zoned for my zone, which is zone 8. So it should overwinter just fine. When the temperatures drop like they have down in the teens, I definitely cover. They don't really need cover. Even typically in a frost, they don't need cover. Sorry, the picture was looking weird. But especially if I'm having a lot of bad weather, winds, I cover. And then also if I'm having a lot of rain, I'll cover. Because most plants don't like their feet really, really wet. And because in the winter time, things don't dry out really well, I'll cover. And that way their feet don't get too wet. So there is a lot of up and down with the row cover, but not too much. It's not too bad. All right, we are in the workshop, which is also the seed starting station. And luckily we have a little heat and air window unit in here, so I can keep that going. And I've been keeping that at about 65 in here, so that's super helpful. As you can see behind me, I've got the little plants over here, and I'm getting ready to show you those. I have mostly Godicia in some stock, and some in one tray of Rudbeckia that's in here growing. And December 31st, I think, I'll look at the tags. That's when they all were started. Put on heat mats, germinated, and I've been watering them once a day. Let it sit for 5 minutes and dump it out. Now, one thing I don't think I ever said in my initial seed starting video is and one thing I learned is I do use water, not tap water. I do use rainwater from our rainwater harvesting system when I make my soil blocks, and I also use it when I'm watering the plants. It seems to do a lot better than tap water because tap water has chlorine in it. Now you can let your tap water, like if you put it in a bucket and then let it sit overnight, that'll evaporate, so that works out too. Or you can get one like a Brita filter or one of those filtration things and use that to water your plants. Luckily we've got the rainwater system, so I just get that. I actually put it in here and let it sit overnight, especially now since it's so cold. And then because I like to water the seedlings and have the water temperature to be room temperature. So I've done that as well. I think that's it. So here they are. These are all my baby Godicia. This is Rudbeckia, more Godicia. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Godicia. That's a tray of calendula back there. And obviously that's the Rudbeckia there. I do keep my sticky traps to catch all the gnats, because anytime you have moist soil, you're gonna have the gnats. And so once a week I do put natural in the water to help kill any of the larvae in the soil blocks. That does help control the gnat population. These little sticky traps help control the gnat population, so I'm trying to keep that at bay. And then down here, as you can see, I didn't have as great germination with stock. There's another one back there. These are all my stock that have germinated. So I'm not sure. This is pretty much how my stock germinated last year. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I am going to grow stock again. I don't seem to have the best germination. We shall see. And then here are my eucalyptus that were started way back in September. Told you they were slow growers. I brought them in here. Typically these are out in the hoop house, but it's been too cold, so I brought those in here. So I didn't really want them to get frost damage. Those are in here. And then of course, all these succulents usually overwinter in the hoop house, and brought them in here as well. This is where I keep I just get it out of our rainwater system out there. I put it in, like I used that one this morning, and then that one will be tomorrow, and then I'll fill those two up again and let those sit in here. This is what I dump the water into, and then dump it outside after I've dumped it off. So as you can tell, see there's no really, I fill up the tray, and then right now there's really no water sitting in the tray, and then these soil blocks will dry out by tomorrow morning, and then I'll water again. That's pretty much how I do my soil blocks. Oh, and also, I don't have a fan in my grow room, so this is what I do. I just run my hands over them once a day like that. Tends to do the same thing as a fan. Obviously you can't do that with Rudbeckia because it just lays out flat, but all the other ones you can. All right, well, we've come full circle and started at the hoop house, took you to the lower garden, took you to the upper garden, and then into the workshop to the grow room. I guess I really didn't take you over. I'll just show you. It's not really all that exciting, but I'll show you. This is my, cut my head off. This is my hardening off station right here. And so I just put the trays over here, and they're kind of covered, and then they'll go out to the garden. And that's pretty much it. Just thought that since I was out checking on plants, I'd take you around with me. There's not too much excitement going on, but I am getting 3 trays from Farmer Bailey of Lisianthus, and so those are going to have to go out as well. Those will be starting the beginning of February. That's what I did last year, and that worked out really well. I got one flush in June and the other, I forget, like October or something. So I'll have those, and then all my Godicia. So I'm super excited. Ready for it not to be so cold. How about y'all? Right? Are we done with the cold? We're done with the cold.